And the Senate Judiciary Committee begins debate today on a proposal to repeal the Federal Defense of Marriage Act, otherwise known as DOMA. The 1996 law defines marriage as being between one man and one woman. Now, a group of 30 senators have proposed the Respect for Marriage Act, which would require the federal government to recognize and provide benefits to couples in same-sex marriages. Democratic Senator Dianne Feinstein of California serves on the Senate Judiciary Committee and joins me now this morning. Senator, it's nice to see you.
Good morning, Thomas.
So all indications are that your bill might get through the committee, but it probably won't pass the Senate, definitely won't pass the House. Do you have the votes to repeal DOMA?
Oh, I don't think we have the votes right now, but this is a changing picture. You know, when DOMA was passed 15 years ago, not a single state supported same-sex marriage. Now you have 6 states plus the District of Columbia. That changes the argument because family law and marriage is a preserve of the state. So you have a legal marriage, and what DOMA does is deny federal benefits, federal Social Security benefits, family leave, estate tax protections, those kinds of things to same-sex couples. So it discriminates against one class of what is a legal class, and that is the state determines who is legally married. So I think there are very good grounds to eventually get DOMA repealed. It may take time, people have to understand it, they have to see it, but I think we can get it done.
Senator, for the defenders of DOMA, the welfare of children is often cited as the reason why marriage should be maintained as quote unquote traditional. But recent studies have shown that as long as the home is loving and stable, the kids grow up to be just fine. And census figures now showing there are some 2 million kids being raised by same-sex parents. What's at stake for those kids if the federal government continues to reject their families as being legitimate?
Yes. Well, what's at stake for those children is really a sense of illegitimacy, that the adoption alone isn't enough, that the family they live in isn't a legal family. And these are children, many of whom would not have had other adopted families. So the ability, and I know gay families who raise children and do a very good job of it. So I think it's really counterproductive to wage that argument. We should be delighted that there are people that want to adopt children who otherwise, for the most part, may not have had an adoptive home.
Senator, DOMA was passed by Congress, signed into law. The voters, though, of California, they voted not to recognize same-sex marriage. Your critics say it's not the place of the federal government to buck state and local governments, force them to recognize same-sex unions as legal. So what do you say to them?
Well, what I say to them is California is changing. I think the polls in California now say that a majority of Californians would support same-sex marriage. So that's the good thing. Additionally, as you know, there is a legal case being brought saying that Proposition 8 is illegal. That'll likely go up to the Supreme Court. There have been different appellate court decisions on it. So that argument is going on in terms of the court. But I think as more individuals know people who are gay, understand that marriage brings about a certainty, brings about economic stability, brings about really a very positive and stable situation for people, I think more people come to accept it.
Senator, last month I got to attend the HRC dinner in San Francisco where you were the keynote speaker. You said that you were going to be in this fight for the long haul. Can you put a definitive timetable on what long haul means?
Well, however long it takes, I am there, and I believe our 31 co-sponsors are there as well. So I think we will gain co-sponsors. I think more states are going to legalize same-sex marriage, and I think the knowledge that the federal government stepping into this area and denying some 1,100 rights and benefits that are afforded to every other married couple is not the right thing to do. In fact, it is a kind of pernicious discrimination.
Senator Dianne Feinstein, always a pleasure to talk with you, Senator. Thanks for your time this morning.
Thank you. Thanks.